On September 16th, Northampton residents cast their votes in the preliminary election. The school budget has risen as a main issue for Northampton residents over the past few years, with concerns over cuts to staff and school services, making this a historic race for many elected positions. In the mayoral race, current Mayor Gina Louise-Sciarra, who earned the most votes, and challenger Jillian Duclos beat out Dombrowski and Breindel. We sat down with each of the candidates to learn more about them and their perspectives on the steps needed to ensure schools are properly funded.
Going into my first term as mayor, I had probably the best foundation that anyone could ever want, right? I had been a city councilor for 8 years. I was a ward councilor. I was an at-large councilor. I was the council vice president. I was the council president. I had a really strong transition with the former mayor after I was mayor-elect. I also had a really strong relationship and connection with our state rep, our state senator, and also knew our U.S. senators and our U.S. congressmen as well. I've been really proud to have good relationships with my department heads.
The perspectives and skills that I hope to bring to the mayor's office, come from a very diverse background. When I decided I needed to go back to school, that's when I ended up finding Sylvester's restaurant. I, worked my way up from barista all the way up to the vice president of operations. There are moments where there are hard times that we are going to face as a community, and that we have to put people first, and I think that role really taught me how to do that, how to build teams, and how to understand from the ground up how to support people. I've worked on many campaigns. I helped Alex Morse, who was the first and youngest gay mayor in Holyoke, get elected in 2011. That led me to intern for Elizabeth Warren, both in Springfield, and then I worked on the Hill in DC for a summer. And then I worked for a nonprofit called the New Jersey Reentry Corporation, which I brought in $1.2 million worth of workforce development funding to drive those programs for folks coming out of prison.
Over the years that I've been mayor, I've increased the Northampton Public Schools budget by 32%. That is a historic increase. We can't find another increase of that amount in that period of time in Northampton's history. But it's also been this horrible struggle of feeling like it's not enough and having all of these other funding sources kind of fall away. One of the things that I've really enjoyed, even during this tough budgeting time for schools, is the partnership that I felt with actually the students. So the student union, the youth commission, and the work that they've put into lobbying the state for more state funding, which is really critically needed, because for years and years, we have been increasing our funding to the Northampton Public Schools, but it's really just been by the people of Northampton.
To me, this is a question of priorities and where we're placing our priorities, placing operational budgets ahead of capital budgets, just so that we're not pitting our essential services against each other, and really working with department heads on, what they need right now versus what we can help them achieve over time. We are seeing divestments in public education all over the nation, that we can do the radical thing and actually put all hands on deck and really say we're not going to let that happen in our community, and we're going to find ways to not be so reliant on the state and federal government. We're actually going to find ways to rely on ourselves and make sure that we're taking care of our community, our children, and setting them up for the future.
Sciarra and Duclos will now face off in the November 4th general election. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.